Hey everyone, Kevin here. Holy smokers, today we got ourselves some breaking news. We got a potential vaccine. The stock market is skyrocketing. We have the biggest gains that we've seen over the last month. The losses for May are gone. The Dow is up 3 to 4%. A lot of the risk-based travel stocks like Disney's up 7 to 8%. Other companies are up 10%. This vaccine company, the pharma company, is up like 30 to 40%. It's been an insane morning, and it's like 6:41 a.m. here in California, okay? But anyway, let's go into the press release here because this is big, and then we're gonna talk about what this means for stimulus. And again, I'm not suggesting that you don't take vaccines or you do take vaccines. I don't care what your opinion is on that, and I'm not giving you mine. I'm just gonna read you this. Okay, here we go. So let's go pop this up full screen here, and then we will go into picture-in-picture mode for me, so you still get to see me in my beautiful hat. I just came here with Captain America is what I usually say. Okay, all right, enough of that, Kevin. Here we go. Okay, so Moderna announces positive interim phase 1 data for its mRNA vaccine. So I wrote some little notes up here to just explain. So mRNA, look, I'm just gonna try to explain this as simply as possible. Here, let's do this. So messenger RNA is basically, you're not getting injected with the virus, you're getting injected with DNA, like RNA, I guess it is. You get injected with this code, like the genetic code of this virus. And the World Health Organization basically is like, here you go, world. Here's the genetic code of the novel coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Please go make a vaccine using this computer code, which is really freaking bizarre. But anyway, I guess they're able to put that into something that can get injected into your muscle. Like, you know, when you get the flu shot, it's like way up here, and then sometimes it's like, that's kind of like an uncomfortable, and it's like one of those. Anyway, they inject it into your muscle, and somehow it basically tricks your cells, like your immune cells, to make its own antibodies against COVID-19 as if you already had the disease. Mind-blowing to me. Apparently that means you can substantially make vaccines a lot faster. I guess they call it, what do they call it here? Virus rapid response. Anyway, let's pull the sheet up again and see what actually is happening with this trial here. So, okay, wait, I gotta put me back in the corner. You can't do this without me. Okay, here we go. So, after 2 doses, all participants evaluated to date across the 25 microgram dose and the 100 microgram dose. Basically, I don't know why they use crappy, like, look at this. Why cohorts, seroconverted? I don't know what the heck that is. So I had to like look up all these words individually, but I already did that for you. See, they basically developed an immunity that was equivalent to that word here, which is those who were sick. Okay, so basically this mRNA 1273 elicited, I feel like I'm an I Am Legend. 1272 failed. 1273 positive. It's just crazy. Okay, elicited neutralizing antibody levels in all 8 participants, which is kind of weird that it's like seriously at 8 participants, but this is phase 1. So I looked up what phases are. And so phase 1, like I don't even see how they qualify for phase 1 here. But according to the CDC, phase 1 is 20 to 100 healthy individuals, phase 2 is hundreds, and phase 3 is hundreds to thousands. Apparently there's some flex in these phases here, but they are moving on to phase 3 in July. That's gonna be an important date. We'll talk about that in a moment. It was deemed generally safe and well tolerated. That didn't make me feel very good, but I'll explain more on that in just a second. They provided, this messenger RNA provided full protection against viral replication in the lungs in a mouse challenge model. I have no idea what that means. I just want to hear about the humans, so I'm just gonna keep moving on there. We'll just call that maybe good news. And this, by the way, this phase 1 study was led by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. That's a very reputable source, so that's a good thing. Okay, so what else do we got over here? So this is where things get fun. All right, so the participants were between 18 and 55 years old, and they they received 2 doses over 43 days. They received a bigger dose, some of them, and others received the smaller dose. Those who received the bigger dose had some substantial immunology, I guess, signs after 29 days. So it looks like it still kind of takes time. And it looks like that everybody seemed to be relatively good. That is, they had good levels of antibodies in their body, seen similar to essentially people who were sick at day 43. So day 43 seems to be a big day here once you receive 2 doses of this, which kind of is annoying that you have to go get 2 doses of this. I mean, I don't want to be around a bunch of people in line getting this vaccine, but and especially twice, you know? You know, I guess it is what it is. So the levels of neutralizing antibodies at day 43 were at or above levels generally seen in people who were sick. Okay, good. Generally safe and well tolerated. So this is where they had a sole incidence of, I don't know what whatever this is, this red, see, look, they put it in parentheses here. How nice of them. A redness, okay? And so this is the only grade 3 symptom that they had in the 25 microgram and 25 microgram doses. And I guess these folks, or one person, experienced redness at the injection site. And to date, the most notable adverse effects were seen in the, basically the people who got the really big dose. The big dose is 10x the little dose. And 3 people had grade 3 symptomatic, whatever, symptoms, okay? And I looked up what those are, and usually those are pain. Like grade 4 is hospital. So it goes from grade 3, which is pain or possibly redness, to grade 4 hospital. Okay, great. That's kind of like, it feels like a big gap there, but again, what do I know about medicine and this kind of stuff? And then phase 3 trial initiation is scheduled for July. And I guess that'll be they're not going to do the big doses because it looks like they don't want people to have pain. I don't know, that's just what it says here. See, 25 and 100 gram microgram doses expected. Now, a few other important things to know. Number 1, this vaccine is expected to be ready for sort of mass development and distribution in 2021, which does mean at minimum we're sitting around for at least another 7 months. And the second thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but you're not actually getting injected with the actual virus here. You're getting injected with genetic code, which I don't know if that makes you feel any better, but some vaccines inject antibodies into you, some inject like dead forms of the actual virus into you. This just injects like G's and T's and C's and what is it, A's or U's? Basically, it's like injecting letters into you, okay? I don't fully understand it, but it's weird, okay? All right, now obviously this is excellent news, this is great news, and our markets trade on great news. Our economy doesn't move on great news. We're still having people who are suffering, many people who are going to food banks, like 70% of people going to food banks have never been to a food bank before. The people working at the food banks are like, gosh, I feel like everybody who's coming up to get food is looking around like, oh man, I hope nobody recognizes me because they're embarrassed. Like, this is messed up. So many people are having trouble getting by. This is why we do a fundraiser on this channel for No Hungry Children, because the nonprofits need help. People need help just getting food out to people. I mean, this is literally like Depression era crap happening in the economy. And then of course, here it is, our markets are skyrocketing. What's interesting though is, I'll tell you, I guess good news doesn't last long because Moderna was up 39%. That's the company that produces this vaccine. And I'll have you see Webull right now, which is also where you can get your 2 free stocks, of course, because I say that every day. Probably multiple times a day. But anyway, you can see here that Moderna is actually now only up 15.9%. And I mean, like, who am I kidding? That's still great, right? But it's certainly a far cry from what we had with 39% up. And again, there you can see, look at that, Whirlpool 5.46%. What do we got? Uber's up 5.3%. Here, Marriott 10%. Well, that might also be because the Saudis bought into them, okay? Oh, Redfin up 10%. There's a winner. I've been buying them since they were at $10. But anyway, yeah, we even see a jump in oil. They were up 11% this morning. But let's now come over here and talk about what this means for potential stimulus. Well, I think this kind of news is the kind of news that you almost kind of, you want for society, but you don't want for more stimulus. Because there's so much hope that maybe the Republicans will come in and say, hey, look, Democrats, get rid of like 50% of the pork you got in here, and instead, let's just bump the stimulus we're giving to people. Let's give people maybe a couple rounds of $2,000. And that might just be a pipe dream. Maybe Republicans don't think that. But there is hope for that. There is hope that, the more the Federal Reserve Chairman shows, like we broke down yesterday when I broke down the 60 Minutes interview, that people need help to prevent long-lasting damage to this economy, and we need to be able to prevent people from going bankrupt, and we need to prevent this small businesses especially from going bankrupt. This whole like trickle-down economics crap isn't going to work. We need help and we need stimulus. Unfortunately, when we get news like this, this kind of makes, in my opinion, senators in Congress go, see, good thing we paused and waited. So politically, this is not good for more stimulus. Societally, and my ability to get out of this, it would be phenomenal to have a vaccine. I'm sick of being in here. I love hanging out with y'all because I can tell you things like get life insurance and get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit $100. And of course, since I'm stuck in this room, you may as well join me and you could learn from me. I broke down my whole net worth, spreadsheet, the videos in the description, and I show you all the things that I do to make money. Join me in the programs, coupon code down there. But yeah, this is not great news for stimulus, but it is dramatic news for society. So let's pay attention to this. Write this down. Moderna and then RNA, okay? That's what you're gonna wanna pay attention to because that is going to be a big mover and shaker over the next few weeks here. Unfortunately, the Gilead's remdesivir, yeah, it kind of sucks if you bought into that company thinking the treatment was gonna be great because the CEO went on to CNBC and he's like, yeah, our treatment's doing great. And then all of a sudden, all the investors are like, I knew I did well on this. And then the CEO goes, but we're giving away everything. We're not charging a dime for any of the treatment. And people are like, oh. Well, there you have it, folks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.